Well, let's see what he got to spin us on tonight. This is going to be interesting. I got to go through the kissing of the ring of the king. Now I'm watching MSNBC, and most of my videos are of MSNBC because they tend to have the most thorough, in-depth, real coverage of what's going on. Yeah, they're considered liberal, but at least they're telling the truth. Unlike Fox, who's considered conservative, but they strictly deal in lies. So that's just a side note. I don't have no real preference. I just want to hear the truth and get accurate coverage. And look at this, man. It's like a sporting event. So this is going to set the stage for what he's going to do from this point on. Everything just happened with the tariffs, with Zelensky in the Oval Office, with Doge. All of this, he's about to put it into his perspective to try to sell not only American people, but the world on this bullshit he's trying to pass off. And it's not going to work, bro. This is going to be a catastrophic, epic failure of an address. And I mean, the markets are already down to almost 700 points today. Wait until in the morning. And this is going to be the beginning of the end to his entire plan. Mark my words. It's going to be fucked up. Like I said, there's going to be some pain. But the question is whether or not we're going to allow that shit to be temporary pain or, chronic. We about to find out. Look at that clown. She looked like a bitch on Girls Gone Wild back in the day. Yeah, it's probably a video of her somewhere out there. She looked like a little nasty bitch. Anyway, I digress. Grievance and Speaker Mike Johnson. This will be Donald Trump's fifth address to Congress. It'll be the first time since 2018 that two Republicans have been on that dais behind him. That is thanks to Republicans' very, 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 very slender three-vote majority in the House. Otherwise, it would have been Hakeem Jeffries sitting there. And here is President Trump at the podium. Here we go with his presidential address to a joint session of Congress. This is why the world is going to hate America. That you got people here applauding this cat, standing ovation. understand, respect the office of the presidency. But you can't respect somebody who doesn't respect the office of the president. I'm just saying. He loved that. He like a cat getting his third stroke. Purring like a motherfucker.
Thank you very much.
What's the first lie he gonna say?
It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
who is an immigrant, from the area of the former USSR. Let's not forget that.
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much.
Slovenia.
And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Yeah, back up against the wall. The crazy part about it, in all of this,
6 weeks ago,
is the superficial
the dome of this Capitol and
idea of supremacy
the
of
dawn
America
the golden age of America.
is now coming, it's coming to fruition.
And unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era.
There's no way that a country as great as America is supposed to be would allow somebody like this to take over.
Accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Yeah. And that should scare the shit out of the world. That clown right there. I mean, he ain't a clown. That motherfucker the richest man in the world, but
I return to this chamber tonight
still
to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again.
come back from what, though?
Never been anything like it.
Come back from what?
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 300.
So we're going to listen for the words mandate and dictate. So that's what he's going to say about Zelensky. We are not going to allow him to dictate what we do. He used that in the little Oval Office catastrophe. So
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
and the first man to stand up is a black man. Now, how you think they're going to take that?
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525.
The Democrats, this they plan
That reads almost completely red
to
for
disrupt.
Republican.
Well, they told Obama you lied, so
Modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction.
bullshit. Look at the poll.
Astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
Yeah, but that 27-point swing, those people that's involved in that are the ones right now that are sitting back like, what the fuck? Buyer's remorse is a real deal.
So it's single largest 1 month gain ever recorded. A 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
They want to get kicked out. They want to get kicked out.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Yeah, they want to get kicked out. So this is going to be an interesting exhibition of congressional, judicial, executive power.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Yeah, they want to be removed. That's the whole point of it all. Now somebody else is going to follow suit. Somebody else is going to follow suit, and it's going to continue to disrupt this whole organization. I mean, this whole event. But of course, it had to be a black man to do it first. So now, of course, black people are going to be blamed to see how they act.
To uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
See how they
Mr.
act.
President, continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed
Who
nearly
admit?
100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
We are witnessing history. And for those in future generations
In fact, it
who
has
actually
been
see
stated by
this,
many
come across this,
that the first month of
Understand.
our presidency, it's our presidency.
this was
It's
the changing point in
successful
history.
in the history of our nation.
He just said it. This was the destruction, the final blow to the American experiment.
What's even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? I don't know about that list,
God ain't with
but
it.
we'll take it.
And he's about to show you
Taking
that he's
the
not
oath
with
of
it.
office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
So why you still sending troops? Why you just mobilize 3,000 more troops?
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way.
Just
In
wait.
comparison, under
Just
Joe
wait.
Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month. And virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums,
You still been
were
talking that
released
same shit
into our
for
country.
10
Who would want
years.
to do that? This is my 5th such speech to
Insane
Congress.
asylums.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy, or to make them stand, or smile, or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the the most devastating disease, a disease that
Here
will
come
wipe
grievances.
out entire nations, or announce the answers
Like the
to
pandemic
the
damn
greatest
near did.
economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Because you lying. They ain't gonna applaud no lies. Why? You are lying to the world, you're lying to the American people, and you're lying to the world.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Yeah, okay.
Every day my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Why are you applauding that, though? That's not at all about what America is supposed to be about.
Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
Remember, this shit is going to be...
withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
a part of history. And they're going to go back and say, yeah, you did all of that and you caused all these problems.
Environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic disruption.
Elon going to make you pay for that. He's going to get that back. But he ain't even tripping on that. He'll get that back in government contracts.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. In that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before.
But you added $8 trillion to the deficit.
To return to the office, they will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Doesn't matter if you're doing your job well. You just need to show up and be on the plantation.
We've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a city president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out?
Yeah, but you about to do the same thing.
And I've stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Good. Remember that. Because I told you before, I'm going to dig in your chest these next 4 years, or however many years you're in office.
Signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
And only 2 sections, right?
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
How you renamed it though?
And likewise,
Who made it
I
official?
renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
What about Fort Bragg that you renamed?
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Why is that something that people are applauding though? That's the crazy shit.
Our country will be woke no longer.
Oh man, he said it.
Whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
Yeah. So again, remember the black air traffic controller that said crash, crash, crash.
You should be hired.
Trust me,
Based on
they're gonna pin that on
the
that.
Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank
It
you.
is going down, man. It is going down. So
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools.
Yeah.
And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders,
Yeah.
male and female.
and this what it's all about. This what he just said is what it's all about. Diversity, equity, critical race theory, and transgender LGBTQ
An
issues.
executive order to ban men from playing in women's
This is what it's about. We are making this
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star
country great
high
again
school athlete,
by
one of the
making it
best,
white
preparing
again.
for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match
And white
was
Protestant
played in
male.
Birmingham, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side, and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it.
Yeah, nobody's ever
Peyton's here
seen
tonight
anything like
in
it.
the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Now, I have no problem with the issue of men not playing in women's sports. That's no issue at all with that. But what is the percentage of that's going on, right? You're using it as an excuse to come against LGBTQ and transgender people. And whether you agree with their choices or their biological, whatever it is,
Take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and
government
field,
should not be able to
cycling,
tell them what
where
they can and can't
recently
do.
finished a long-distance race.
But I do agree that men shouldn't be
5
playing,
hours and 14
competing
minutes.
against women, biological
They have a
men.
woman for a new record by 5 hours.
So I ain't got a problem with that
By 5
aspect of it.
hours. It's demeaning for women.
But that's not
and
why
it's
he's
very
doing
bad
it.
for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
That's not why he's doing it. He's tapping into that because he knows that certain people feel certain kind of way about it. And those people will continue to support him.
What I've just described is
Donald
only
Trump don't
small
give a fuck
fraction
about
of the
nothing but
common
Donald
sense
Trump, man.
revolution that is now
Understand.
because of us sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen.
Common sense? Thomas Paine? Is that what we're talking about?
Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe
Bullshit.
and an inflation nightmare.
Bullshit.
Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. It never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country, they're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable.
So you're going to blame, because you can't do it, because shit goes up under you, now you're going to blame it on the previous administration. And you're going to take credit for any wins, but you ain't going to take credit for no loss.
Let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
But you're supposed to bring it down.
We're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Inherited. Bitch, you inherited one of the strongest economies in the past 15, 20 years.
The major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt.
Why gas prices going up then?
100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants.
Why gas prices going up? Wait till you see where the gas price is at in August.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
Never seen nothing like it. Anything like it. The first time ever.
You've heard me say many times we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth.
And that's true.
By far.
Of this month.
And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
So how we gonna use it if you can't refine, baby, refine?
My administration is also working on a gigantic.
You're not gonna
natural
export
gas
it
pipeline
anywhere.
in
Nobody is
Alaska,
gonna buy that shit
among the
now.
largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Yeah, what about Ukraine though? How Ukraine tie into that?
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
How?
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah. He got to get his cut, right? Why you standing up? Bitch, if you was humble, motherfucker, you'd be sitting down like, wow. Money, power, and imperialism, bro.
Very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this.
Of course he needs
Thank you
it.
very much. We appreciate it.
Where do you think his money
Everybody
coming
here,
from?
Even this side appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
His wealth has doubled
Appalling waste.
from fucking around with government contracts.
$22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 billion for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making
Understand what he's saying.
This is real.
Anybody who's not
$32
white,
for left-wing propaganda
straight,
operation in Moldova.
Protestant
$10
male.
for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program.
It's called education.
$1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Wow.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan or local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda.
Yeah.
$14 million for improving public
All these black
procurement in Serbia.
areas.
$47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. You know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people.
Okay.
Headed up by
I gotta take a break. I'll be back in a minute.
Hundreds of billions of dollars of
Bullshit.